Meanwhile, matric learners of the 2020 Independent Board Examinations syllabus received what many would deem their life-changing results on Thursday. IEB recorded a 98.0.7% matric pass rate for 2020, a slight drop compared to the previous year's 98.82%. Despite 2020 being a tough year on the academic calendar, top achiever at the St. John's College in Johannesburg, Andi Qu managed to earn himself 8 distinctions with an overall average of 96.4%, placing him in the IEB Outstanding Achievements list and being top 1% achiever in 4 subjects. Qu says it was not entirely easy with the workload and added pressure that came with matric in general in the COVID-19 pandemic. Of course, he joins us now to tell us more about this journey, his achievements and plans for the future. Matric pupil of 2020, Andi Qu, joins us. A very good morning to you, bright and early. Thanks for joining us. What a phenomenal achievement, Andi. How on earth did you manage to achieve these outstanding results?
Well, I think a lot of it was hard work, but also I got a lot of support from people like my parents and my teachers, especially my school, who handled the initial lockdown really well. So I think that just took a lot of pressure off of me, and that just allowed me to focus on my studies. Yeah.
You say your school handled the lockdown pressure pretty well. Are you referring to the online learning?
Well, yeah, both the online learning and also the transition back to like real life school. So like all the teachers were really well trained and they knew what they were doing, and they were always there to help us whenever we had questions. That was really great.
Did you ever anticipate that your outcome would be this amazing?
Not really, because like I thought that with all the online learning and stuff, I'd probably like forget something in the finals. And honestly, like writing the finals, it kind of seemed that way because they were really different from the previous year's finals, I think, like especially the music paper, because there was a new examiner and everything. So yeah, it was a bit of a surprise, but like I did work hard, so I kind of expected these results. Just not the really high average, you know?
Yeah, a bit of a surprise at an average of 96.4%, Andi. Take us through your preparation process. How did you, concentrate and focus on each subject and the sort of techniques that you used to get this overall achievement?
Okay, so I think how I approached things was I studied most for the subjects that I struggled with, like Afrikaans and English, because like if you're already like really good in a subject, like say maths, then there's no point just doing lots of practice papers, even if other people are doing it. So yeah, basically my main strategy is just to do a lot of practice papers, and for languages to read a lot of the literature, because that's great practice. And with the practice you really reinforce the knowledge instead of just like letting it go in through one ear and out the other. So yeah, I think that's really important for getting good results.
And in terms of the future, I mean, surely at this point, higher learning institutions are chasing you more than you're chasing them. What are your plans? What do you plan to study? I know that you're presently doing a software development internship in Johannesburg and you'll be leaving in September. Talk to us about your future.
So I want to study computer science. I'm still not sure where I'm going to go, but it's probably going to be either in the United States, the UK, or Singapore. So I'm still currently waiting for the university decisions for whether or not I'm admitted, because they only get released in like April, I think.
With such genius work, Andi, what else do you do in your spare time? I mean, you speak about being excellent at maths and not having really focused too much on the subject, rather looking at other subjects like the languages that you struggled with. What else do you do in your spare time?
So I do a lot of Olympiads, right? Like the South African Maths Olympiad and the South African Programming Olympiad, and because of that, I do a lot of past problems from those Olympiads to train, and I think that's actually one of the reasons why I'm good at maths, because like basically it just forces you to really focus on problem solving and to think creatively, which are important to maths and science, which a lot of people don't realize because they think it's just numbers, right? Yeah, other than that, I also like programming to create fun little websites and apps. And yeah, so I actually started programming in like grade 9 because I really liked the online games that I used to play as a kid, and I wanted to try recreate some of them myself. So yeah.
I also note here that you also a keen, you've been singing in the choir since you first arrived at the college as a youngster. Talk to us about that element, that creative field, and what really it does for you as a highly academic pupil.
Yeah, so I do a lot of music. I started piano in like grade 1, I think, and then the flute in grade 3, and finally the clarinet in grade 7. So I joined the choir in grade 5 because I thought it was a really cool experience. Like I got to sing alongside like dozens of other kids. And so yeah, I think music really helps because firstly it's a way to unwind from all the academic stress and stuff. And secondly, it's a way to like create really beautiful sounds. And contrary to what a lot of people think, music is actually highly mathematical. Like if you take music further in, say, like matric, then you'll learn there are things such as the chord progressions and stuff, which have like very strict rules. And so I think my maths really helped with that. And so yeah, music's just been a really big part of my life. I was actually on a music scholarship at St. John's, and I performed in the wind band too. So that was really great because a lot of my friends came from these musical ensembles because we spent so much time together. And yeah, so I highly encourage anyone who has these opportunities to take them, because like school isn't just about academics. There are other things like culturals and sports that you absolutely should take advantage of in high school.
As you give out this advice, Andy, we know that some of the rest of the matriculants in South Africa are waiting with a lot of anticipation for their results that will be announced on Monday. What advice would you give to those who are waiting for their results and those who are in matric at this point in time and also looking to achieve outstanding results like yourself?
Probably that like these are just a set of exams and you've been doing exams. So like if you've prepared well and you like trust yourself, then just like don't really worry about the results because you will do well.
And in terms of support, I mean, you spoke about your parents being a huge factor here and some of your teachers when it came to supporting you throughout this matric year. What sort of support do you think parents and teachers can give to grade 12s this year?
I think parents should like kind of parents should kind of just trust their kids and kind of just let them do their own thing, you know, because my parents kind of didn't really my parents weren't really that strict. Like they didn't urge me to study all the time. They just trusted that I'd study by myself to like achieve the results that I wanted. So I think that's really important because like firstly that takes a lot of stress off of the students' shoulders, but also it allows them to like explore maybe their own interests, which is still important even in matric. And I think teachers are sort of the same thing, but teachers do need to care about like whether or not the students are studying because like they are teaching and stuff. But also I think teachers should just like answer kids' questions, like if they have any over like WhatsApp kind of, because with the online learning, you won't be able to ask as many questions in class. So there are going to be more questions afterwards. And I think the main way that teachers can help, and it's actually one of the main ways that they helped me during my matric year, was to just support me even after class. Yeah.
Thank you so much for your time. All the best to you, and really congratulations for such excellent, outstanding results. 8 distinctions. That's incredible. Matric pupil, IEB matric pupil of 2020, and a top achiever, Andi Qu, who achieved 8 distinctions with an overall average of 96.4%, placing him in the IEB Outstanding Achievements list and being top 1% achiever in 4 subjects. Incredible.